Welcome to Taste and See Lifestyle. I'm this channel's creator and host, Dave. I started this channel really for all the families out there, especially the dads who are hustling and bustling on a daily basis. Just to give you a little break, a little motivation, and to enjoy yourself and have a little more joy in your life. I really like this to be a platform for us to support one another and share our life experiences together. I actually wanted to do this for some time ago, but I can't seem to find the right moment to do it. So for the last couple months, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we were forced to stay home. Hey, I suddenly found a lot of time, which gives me an extra push to launch. So here we are. I've been part of the YouTube community, like many of you all, for a long time, and I believe I benefit greatly by all these great contents out there created by others. And I really think it's time for me to contribute back. Seriously, I learned anything from fixing my toilet to creating beautiful art and have all these tasty recipes out there. Oh, there are tons of it. Speaking of recipes, I will be sharing a personal favorite of mine on how to cook some amazing ribeye steak indoor. So, man, as I'm speaking of it, I'm drooling inside. If you're ready to do this, let's get started. Before we get started with our cooking, I'd like to share a little background about ribeye. The ribeye was originally, as the name implies, the center best portion, in my opinion, of the rib steak. It's both flavorsome and tender, coming from a lightly worked upper rib cage part of the cow. Its marbling of fat is what makes it tasty and juicy when you cook it. However, not all ribeye are created equal. So to maximize your experience, you want to make sure the steak that you buy have little or no vein in it. But that's something hard to tell just by looking at it. So you may want to run your finger through it, on top of it, feel it to see if it's a little bumpy or hard. Then it's probably vein, not the fat marbling that you want. Also, always check and see if it was when it was packaged. If you want to buy anything that's more than a week old, you want to check for its freshness, poke the meat a little bit to see if it's still tender. As with any good meat, it usually comes with a price tag, right? So ribeye is no exception. We normally buy the steak at Costco. The steaks that we're cooking today, these are USDA graded prime beef. So it's about $20 per pound. And for a family of 4, I think a pack of 3 or 4 pounds is probably enough. Now that we got the basics out of the way, next I'm going to go over the ingredients and some of the kitchen supplies you may need. So of course, we're going to start with picking our steak. Now here, where you see here is a USDA prime beef. And other ingredients includes, we have some cooking oil here, a Canola oil. We have some butter, and we have some Campbell mushroom soup, garlic powder, some sea salts, and peppercorn, and of course a loaf of garlic that we'll be using. And here's some additional ones that if you want to make some delicious sauce with it, we have some cream of mushroom soup, onion, and Worcestershire sauce. And of course a grill pan, knife, tongue, and some brush. Well, now we're ready to prep it. First, we want to check it out size, and we want to rub the cooking oil over it. The reason for that is that it will act as like adhesive, so when we put the seasoning on it, it will help stick to it. And also when we cooking it on a pan or on a grill, it will prevent it from getting too dry or burned up. So now I put some garlic powder in there, and now some black pepper over it, and of course our sea salt. You want to make sure to get it on all sides, not just the top and bottom. So I'm going to turn them over. You do the same thing here with the same seasoning. Garlic powder, pepper, and sea salt here. Alright, so get them up on the sides and everywhere. Now we're ready to get it ready to cook it. First, you preheat your pan, and then we will oil that up as well too. So make sure the steak's not gonna stick on it. It helps you probably to get burned. Now we slap the steaks on it when this is ready on one side. You want to make sure you get it nice and tight in there, and you don't want to flip it until it's fully cooked on one side. So it's about 1.5 inches thick here for these steaks. So it will take about 7 minutes of growing, I believe, so to get it where we want it. But of course, you want to check temperature, and you want to make sure it's cooked evenly throughout. And we're going for a medium rare here. So now I'm going to flip it over, and same thing. We'll cook it about 6 to 7 minutes. You're going to watch it from the side, see when it's cooked, and check its temperature as well. Make sure everything looks like everything's on schedule. So once it's cooked up, we will make some little sauce on the side, little gravy sauce, and put that away. So put some butter in there, melt it in. I can smell the aromas there. Then of course you want to put some garlic, and we're just getting also diced onions in there. And you want to stir it, make sure all that is we'll get a little brown stuff, but you don't want to overcook it. You don't want to burn it, basically. So once that's ready, we want to get ready to put in our mushroom cream soup in there. Here we go. So you want to pour the whole can in there and mix it in with all the spices in there. And once you start seeing the bubbling on the side, you know it's start cooking really quickly. And we're almost done there. Now we want a little splash of Worcestershire sauce here, spicy things up a little bit, and we're done, ready to serve. Alright, so this is what it looks like after it's grilled. So let me get a couple of pieces out, and we'll cut it open so you can see, you know, if we achieve our goal here. But it looks nice and juicy from what I can see here. So I'm gonna cut it up here, line it up a little bit here. Wow, look at that. It's so nice and juicy, just the way we want it. I think we have achieved our goal too. This is a medium rare. And if you have little kids at home, like my daughter, make sure you may not like it too rare. So we'll cook it a little more for her as well too. So this is the end product. Look at this. Oh boy. We put it in a nice little glass tray here to feature it. And of course, we'll play it with little stir-fried greens that we have, and also the cream sauce that we have on the side, a little gravy. Yeah, it's delicious. Now this is the real test. So I'm going to see my little munchkin if she approve of what we done here today. So it looks like she's enjoying it. Alright, see if we get that thumbs up. Yay! Alright, now that I have shared one of my favorite recipes with you, it's time for some spiritual food for your soul. One of my favorite parts of the scripture is book of Proverbs. Why? Because I find it to be full of wisdom and very practical to our daily lives. Many of these verses came from King Solomon. For those of you who don't know about King Solomon, I urge you to look him up. He's a very interesting guy. In fact, he's an ancient Jewish king who is full of wisdom and a father to many children. So the book of Proverbs it's a collection of many advice coming from Solomon and gets passed down to his children and their children for many generations. So thanks to him, a father like me could really use some of these awesome wisdom to teach it to our children, and maybe it will bless our future generations as well. So now, one of my favorite passages of the book of Proverbs is 17:22, section 17:22. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries out the bone. Now, I love this proverb because it reminded me of to always carry a cheerful heart. In other words, joy is the best medicines that I could attest to. For years, I've suffered from a rare autoimmune condition that affects all of my major joints. So sometimes it gets so bad that I couldn't even get off the bed or raise my arm or lift anything heavy. I was a slave to painkillers. Without it, I couldn't function. So I was so depending on it. But about a couple of years ago, things changed. I attended a 3-day special conference at my home church. And during this conference, all I did was just let things go. We sing, we dance, and we enjoy each other's in God's presence. And for those 3 days, I actually completely forgot to take my medications. And what the truth is, I didn't feel any pain. And ever since then, I have really got freed from being a slave to these painkillers. So I'm telling you, letting go of these things, just enjoying the people around you, it's a great way. But I know, we got all these pressures that we get in life. We got bills to pay, mouths to feed, and also all of the other good stuff. But don't let your responsibility define you. You must learn to take care of your heart and your soul so your body can be healed. And really, to do things that you enjoy, whether or not it's to grow a steak, go camping, a road trip, or even just a mini weekend getaway with your family, just spending time with them. I think having a balanced life is so important for both your body and mind. And who do you know? You might renew yourself, and so these old bones wouldn't dry up. So I really challenge you to do something fun with your family this weekend, and share with me in the comment sections. And don't just sit around stressing out the things that you have no control over. Trust me, a cheerful heart will go a long way. All right. Well, thank you for watching Taste and See Lifestyle. And if you like it, please subscribe and like this video and share with others and help this channel grow. And so we'll try our best to release at least one video per week. So stay tuned. By the way, this is my little munchkin. Say hi. All right. All right. Until next time, say ciao.
Ciao.